Kids today get Easter baskets worth $100. We got a hollow chocolate bunny, some peeps, and a hard-boiled egg we dyed ourselves. And it was perfect. No matter the time you're watching this, whether this year's Easter is coming in few days or has come and gone, these are the Easter memories from the 70s and 80s that nobody talks about anymore. But everybody misses. Let's start with the Easter basket. Not the fancy kind you see today, but a simple plastic basket stuffed with that bright green plastic grass that got absolutely everywhere. In your shoes, on the carpet, somehow in your food. But digging through it to find what was hidden underneath, that was the magic. Then came the PAAS dye kit. You remember it, right? A cup of vinegar water, a fizzing color tablet, and that little wire dipper. You'd spend the whole morning coloring hard-boiled eggs and acting like each one was a masterpiece. Easter Sunday morning also meant getting dressed up. The frilly dress or the itchy suit, patent leather shoes that pinched, white gloves, Easter bonnet. Then Mom or Dad lined everybody up on the front lawn for photos before church. No arguments. That was just what you did. And after church, the backyard egg hunt. The real ones had coins hidden inside. Finding a plastic egg with a dime or a quarter in it felt like striking gold. Now, let's talk about the candy. Because this is where the 70s and 80s Easter really had something special going on. First, Brack's marshmallow eggs, sold loose by the pound in big bins at the drugstore or the 5 and dime. Soft, sugary, and completely addictive. Your mom would scoop them into a bag, and somehow half of them were gone before you even got home. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Then there was the hollow chocolate bunny. Every single year you hoped it would be solid. Every single year. It wasn't. You'd bite the ears off, hear that hollow echo, and feel slightly cheated. But you finished the whole thing anyway, because it was chocolate, and you were a kid. Cadbury Creme Eggs. That clucking bunny commercial played on TV every Easter, and everyone could recite it by heart. You either loved the gooey center, or you hated it. There was no in-between. Reese's peanut butter eggs wrapped in foil. Somehow they tasted better than the regular Reese's cups. They still do. Don't ask why, they just do. And then peeps. Nobody could explain why peeps existed, but every Easter basket had them, sitting on the counter going slightly stale. And you ate them anyway because it was Easter. That's just the rules. The food. This is the segment that's going to take you straight back to your childhood kitchen. Because Easter dinner in the 70s and 80s was something else entirely. It always happened at Grandma's. Always. And the moment you walked through that door, the smell hit you before anything else. That honey-glazed ham slow cooking in the oven, studded with cloves, pineapple rings laid across the top, that sweet sticky glaze caramelizing around the edges. That smell alone is enough to take you back 40 years. And the table. Grandma brought out the good china. Not the everyday plates, the special ones that only came out twice a year. Easter and Christmas. The table was set properly. Everything matched. Everyone had an assigned seat. You didn't dare touch anything before grace was said. Somewhere on that table was the deviled egg plate. You know the one. That special oval dish with the little individual wells made specifically for deviled eggs. Every family had one. Nobody knew where it came from. It just existed. And then the Jell-O mold. Fruit suspended inside wobbly gelatin, sitting in the middle of the table, like it was the crown jewel of the entire meal. Was it necessary? Absolutely not. Was it on every Easter table in America and the UK? Without question.
What you got in the basket, Doc? I got...
And then there was the world around Easter that's just completely gone now. And this might be the part that hits the hardest. Saturday morning before Easter, you were planted in front of the TV for the holiday cartoon specials. Here comes Peter Cottontail. Animated, simple, and absolutely magical to a kid in the 70s or 80s. No streaming, no on-demand, no rewinding. You either caught it when it aired, or you waited a whole year. That's what made it special. Then Easter Sunday morning, you'd see the Easter parade coverage on the news. People dressed in their finest elaborate bonnets, walking down Fifth Avenue in New York like it was the most natural thing in the world. It was a whole event, a real cultural moment. And the department store Easter bunny photos. Every family did it. Every family has at least one photo where the kid is absolutely terrified, screaming, stiff, or staring into the camera with pure suspicion. The Easter bunny was huge, silent, and honestly a little unsettling. But Mom had the camera ready, and you sat on that lap and smiled anyway. And perhaps the biggest thing we don't see anymore. Easter Sunday meant everything was closed. The mall, the grocery store, the restaurants, everything. The whole world just stopped. Families stayed home together because there was nowhere else to go. No scrolling, no errands, no distractions. Just family, food, and the moment. Looking back, that might have been the best part of all. Despite times changing and many traditions evolving, we that grew up in the 60s and 70s won't forget in a hurry the older, more slow-paced Easter customs that used to be common in families and churches, especially in the US and Europe. Let me know which of these few forgotten-style traditions you still remember. Sun dancing and sunrise experiments. In parts of the US and Europe, people believed the sun danced or zigzagged at dawn on Easter morning. Families would wake up early to watch the sunrise and try to catch the sun jumping, treating it like a natural miracle tied to the resurrection. Egg tapping or egg knocking. Before plastic egg hunts, kids often played egg tapping. Each person held a hard-boiled, dyed egg and gently tapped another's, trying to crack theirs without breaking their own. In some towns, this turned into full-on contests at church picnics. Easter pace egging and begging for eggs. In England and some rural communities, children went door to door around Easter in a custom called pace egging, asking for eggs or small treats in exchange for songs or simple plays. This was a more ritualized, old-fashioned version of trick-or-treat style, getting a new Easter outfit. In the mid-20th century US, it was very common for kids to get a brand new Sunday outfit, dress, suit, or shoes, actually called an Easter outfit. Wearing something new symbolized a fresh start and was often worn to church plus family photos, butter lambs, and special Easter cakes. In many European American homes, the centerpiece wasn't chocolate bunnies, but a carved butter lamb, or a standing lamb-shaped cake, symbolizing the Lamb of God. These were often made fresh for the holiday table and kept on display. Easter bonnets and hat parades. Easter bonnets, decorated hats with ribbons, flowers, or lace, were standard for women and girls in the early to mid-1900s, especially in Easter parades. Families would sometimes dress up and walk in local Easter parades, which were big social events. Easter egg trees and blown egg decorations. Before plastic eggs, people would carefully empty real eggs, dye or paint them, and hang them on branches to make an Easter egg tree indoors. This was especially popular in parts of Germany and among families wanting a more homemade, crafty look. Tenebrae services and midnight symbolism. Some churches held very special somber worship services called Tenebrae on Holy Thursday or Good Friday. where candles were slowly extinguished until the room went dark. Then one candle would be brought back as a sign of hope. This dramatic ritual used darkness and light to teach kids about death and resurrection, but it's rarely explained to children today. These are the Easters that shaped us: the plastic grass, the die kits, the hollow chocolate bunny that disappointed you every single year, but you ate anyway, Grandma's good china, that honey-glazed ham, and a Jell-O mold that nobody questioned. Simple Easters, unhurried Easters. Easters where the whole world slowed down and everybody just stayed together. They don't make Easter like that anymore, but we remember. And maybe that's the most important thing of all. If any of this brought back a memory, drop it in the comments below. I'd love to hear yours. And if you know someone who grew up with these Easters, share this video with them. It'll make their day.